Hey there friends, it's Paul and welcome to another video, and today we will be repainting Mutant Helios into his anime colors. For those who've been here on the channel for a while, you all know that I have already painted this Helios with my interpretation of his anime colors, but now that I know some new painting tricks and now that I have some new colors available, I think it's time to give this Bakugan a look that is way more similar to the show. As you can see, I've already started cleaning off the old paint, which I'll show you how to do in just a sec, but yeah. For this project, as always, we'll be using some Gundam Markers, a classic black marker for the entire body, then some metallic silver, pink, and green for the main details, and that awesome red marker I used in the Infinity Drago project for Helios' eyes and details on the back. So yeah, let's get started customizing. So first up, we will begin the project by trying to clean off as much of the old paint as possible. For this, you can use a piece of paper or cloth you have around, and all you gotta do is spray it with a bit of rubbing alcohol and then just start cleaning off your Bakugan. For people familiar with the Gundam Markers, you might have heard of this other product called Gundam Marker Eraser, which also comes as a type of marker, and you just basically apply it directly onto the painted surface. The paint will start to come off and then you just clean it with some paper or cloth and boom. I really recommend it because it's definitely a really good product. So yeah, after cleaning for a bit, the majority of the paint came off Helios, but of course there will be some areas where it will be a bit more difficult to clean, but in general the overall surface of your Bakugan will be ready to start painting. Afterwards you can apply a primer to be extra sure that your Bakugan is ready to be painted, but since I don't have any at the time, I'll just go straight to painting. Next up, we begin customizing by painting Helios' body with the black Gundam marker. Here I recommend using a medium sized brush because it will help to cover all areas quickly and it will ensure for a smooth finish. The good thing with this black Gundam marker was that it was super effective at doing its thing. I only had to apply one coat of paint everywhere, and the other cool thing was that the finish of this marker made Helios' body look super shiny and reflective. And while this paint was drying up, I took advantage of the free time to paint in Helios' horn with the metallic silver. And you know, for a while before deciding to repaint Helios, I was really considering, buying another Mutant Helios online. But holy shit, they cost so much now. Like a random attribute one goes for around $70 or more. Translucents go for like $300 or $400, which is just stupid. And one time I saw a darkest one go for like $500+. So yeah, that's just like way too much money for a single Bakugan. Like, I mean, come on, a Helios that is repainted into a Darkos is going for like $200+. So yeah, nah. Like right now there are so many Bakugan going for way too ridiculous prices. Don't even get me started on Dragonoids nowadays. Like, come on sellers, you really gotta chill with those prices. So yeah, looking at this situation, I think that the best decision here was just to use my good old Mutant Helios I already had and just repaint him. With this first part of the custom complete, we will now go on to paint Helios' feet, claws with the metallic silver. And well, as I've learned through my experience, sometimes Gundam Markers don't like it when you paint a color over another, and usually they just end up mixing with each other. Here the black paint mixed a bit with the silver, making it look darker than I wanted. So in order to ensure that these details looked as best as possible, I applied 2 coats of paint on each of the claws. The technique is the same I usually use nowadays in my customs. Paint one coat, let it dry for about 15-20 minutes, and then I applied the second one. And here I was altering between the super mini brush to reach the more difficult areas and then the medium sized one to ensure an overall smoother finish. Next we will now go on to paint all the silver details around Helios' body. Since pretty much all the details are made up of really small lines, I recommend using the super mini brush to paint them in. Here we continued using the metallic silver, and the technique I used here was pretty much the same as before with the claw details. First applying one coat of metallic silver, waiting for a bit, and then applying the second one. And to be honest, in this section the black and silver didn't really mix, probably because the details were so small. So one coat of paint sufficed, but just to be safe I decided to apply a second one. And throughout the video, I'm sorry if some of the portions are blurry, but I don't know why, but my phone was having quite a hard time getting things into focus. Maybe it was the lighting or the colors used that made my phone's camera go a bit crazy, so I'm sorry about that, my friends. And I almost forgot to mention this, but after applying the black paint around Helios's body, I let it dry overnight before painting in all the other details, and the day after I decided to use a glove to prevent my fingerprints from messing the paint. I've always had some bad luck with this, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Afterwards, we painted Helios's eyes, and here I used the technique I learned while painting Infinity Drago. If you have to paint one color over another and you want to ensure that the top one stands out and is super vibrant, first apply a coat of either silver or white to work as a base for the real color you're going to be using. On my first go at Helios, I didn't really do this, and as a result the colors ended up looking a bit dull, kinda dead. But nope, this time around we're gonna do things right with this new technique. And here the metallic red I used worked really well. Same on those little back details you'll be seeing me paint in a bit. And to be honest, despite it being a bit problematic like other color reds, it's by far my favorite. At this point, I decided to let Helios chill and dry for about an hour to give some extra time for everything that was painted in to settle down. And afterwards, we painted those little details on the sides of Helios with the metallic pink, which I'll always consider to be a purple. Here we used the exact same technique as with the ice, first applying an initial coat of silver to act as our base for the main color, then applied the pink, whatever, I'll just call it purple. And here, don't worry if the silver parts start to mix with the black, it will be fine once it dries a bit and you start using the purple. And here I recommend going with the super mini brush, as the details are super small, and also use the light taps of paint technique. And if you want to be extra sure that the main color stands out as best as possible, go ahead and apply a second coat of it. And to almost finalize with this custom, we will be painting all the little details on the back part of Helios. And as you can see here, I first recommend to apply an initial coat of silver to act as your base, in order to ensure that the main colors you will be applying are as shiny and colorful as possible. And at the start of this area, not gonna lie, I was a bit nervous of how I was going to approach the details, because they have some pretty weird shapes. However, it turned out that these weird details were going to be super easy to paint. What worked for me here was dropping a little drop of paint onto each of the details and then just spreading the paint throughout it. As I mentioned before, the metallic red paint worked like a charm throughout this Bakugan, cause it ended up looking super vibrant and I only had to apply a single coat of it, which is a really big win. In the case of the metallic green, it was looking super awesome, but this one needed 2 coats to really show its true potential. And off camera, cause I forgot to press the record button, I'm sorry, I also painted that little circle where the attributes should be visible. And come to think of it, I should really try and find a way to make some attribute symbols for these custom Bakugan. And to end this project, we painted the green details on Helios' feet, once again first applying the silver coat, and pretty much doing the exact same thing we did with the other details. And yep, with this part complete, we can say that this custom project is pretty much done. And this Mutant Helios custom is finally complete, and I'm like 100% in love with this new look for Helios, like no kidding. This Bakugan is now one of my favorites in my collection, and is probably in my top 3 Bakugan I've shown you all on this channel. It just looks so awesome and shiny and vibrant, the colors all work together so well, and this is definitely an improvement from the original version of this Bakugan I customized. Painting this hues was super fun and relaxing, and I hope that you enjoyed this entire painting process. So yeah my friends, this has been the video, hope that you liked it. Hope that this video inspires you to paint your Bakugan. Trust me, it's a really fun hobby to do in your spare time, and is really gratifying. So yeah my friends, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, share your love for Helios in the comments. Thanks for watching the video, and yep, it's been Paul, and I'll see you in the next video.